we set a number of issues that we felt must be resolved both by Parliament and local government. And to that effect, we made several steps. One of it is the legal route. We made sure that we take the issue to the court, and
Hello viewers, welcome back pano TV. Pano patinokupai udzenga dzikitora nzvimbo munyika yedu yeZimbabwe nedzimwe nyika dzakatikomberedza. Makusiyana nawo ndine video ndakubatirai panapa. Video rakachikamadza ruzhinji rweZimbabwe uye vanhu vakawana vazoita end up vakuti kana zvadai, which means vaSengezo Tshabangu vasisina mukana uye tsoro dzavo akusisina kwadzichakatarisa nokuda kwokuti taona video ravagift ostalos vanova iyo mutauro weCCC. Ndofunga tese tinoziva kuti vaSengezo Tshabangu vakarekola maMP eCCC muparliament, asi takaona kuti after paitika chiitiko ichi president advocate Nelson Chamisa vakafunga kudisengage maMP aya, asi vari disengagement process iyi vane matano avakatora sokuindisa nawo iyi kumatare edzimhosva. Uyezve takaona zvakare kuti kubva musi wa11 October up to musi wa25 nezuro takaona members of parliament aya achitanga zvakare kudzoka muparliament as usual, asi vanoti vane matano avakatora this process yavanga vasingaendi kumabasa, asi vanoti ivo vachatarisira kunzwa kupindurwa kwenhau dzavo musi wa2 November, ndipo pavachange vachiteerera kana kunzwa kuti dare redzimhosva riri kuti kudini pamusaka pekurekolewa kwakaitwa maMP avo. Asi vanotaura zvakare kuti hatina nguva yekuswera tichiita zvema-by elections, nokuti hanzi nyange tikaenda kuma-by elections kana kusaenda hanzi kuma-by elections obvious isusu takangosarudzwa nevanhu, obvious tisu tinotongosarudzwa zvakare. Nokudaro hatina nguva yekuswera tichiteerera ngano dzemugodzi masuru izvo kana kuti zviri kuitwa navaSengezo Tshabangu. Sinoda kupedzera nguva ndati muzvinzwiro vagift ostalos vachizvitaurira vega. Muzonza zvamunofunga mucomment section. Asi kana chiri first time kuti be here, feel free to subscribe on my channel, subscribe pamahara zvinobetsera channel yangu ikure, and also turn on the notification bell kuti pose panokanda chinyuwani you are the first one to be notified.
Position. Thank you very much. We've just received a communique from the party to communicate with fellow Zimbabweans and all stakeholders to the effect that you know that on the 11th of October we announced our disengagement from Parliament and local authorities to address particularly the issue of the illegal recourse that has been effected both by the Minister of Local Government and by the Speaker of Parliament. We set a number of issues that we felt must be resolved both by Parliament and local government. And to that effect, we made several steps. One of it is the legal route. We made sure that we take the issue to the court, and you know that there's an urgent matter that is going to be heard by the High Court of Zimbabwe on the 2nd of November to make sure that this issue has been resolved. Secondly, we also engaged here domestically with fellow citizens and different stakeholders, particularly the change champions and drivers of the movement, on the necessary political program of action to resolve the crisis that we're facing. And thirdly is our engagement with parliamentary forums in the region and internationally, which we think are key, and we are members of those particular forums, and they're important to make sure that they help us to resolve part of the crisis in our country. And fourthly, of course, was our engagement at SADC region level, and you are aware of the extraordinary summit, and one of the issues that we've tackled there in terms of our writing and engagement with SADC is about the issue of the legal recourse and the broad crisis of legitimacy and governance questions in our country. So to that effect, you know that the 14 days expired on the 25th, which was yesterday, and we are taking this particular period to make sure that we review and engage with other key stakeholders on the next political program of action. We are very thankful to our change champions, members of parliament and councillors, because there was total compliance on this political decision by our movement, by the citizens movement. And of course, we salute and thank the citizens because they stood firm in support of their movement so that we correct this crisis that we're facing. And so we are very clear as a movement. Very soon we are going to pronounce, particularly in respect of the fact that the issue is in the hands of the court, and we expect that the principles of natural justice are going to apply so that we restore sanity in parliament and in local authorities, so that those that have been given mandate by the people are able to be returned back, because the Speaker of Parliament, as you are aware, acted on error on a fraudulent letter that he was not supposed to be receiving and particularly acting on. So because of those reasons, this issue has been in the hands of the court, and we expect that on the 2nd of November, we're also going to pronounce ourselves in respect of the decision and the judgment that is going to come from the court.
Mr. Tshabangu is alleging that you went back to Parliament after he ordered you to go back, saying that it is the position of what he claims the genuine CCC or the original CCC that you go back to Parliament, and that it has nothing to do with your earlier statement.
Look, our statement was very clear and emphatically so that we are disengaging from Parliament for 14 days, and we have had a meeting also to give an update with Mr. Dhende, the Speaker of Parliament, particularly to have these issues resolved. And a number of issues. You know that there was terrible treatment of our members of Parliament in the last parliamentary sessions, and we've been having this engagement through different organs of Parliament, and we are assuring citizens, and we are very confident about the intentions and the direction to have those issues resolved, so that we focus on the big national questions in our country. You know that very soon budget is coming. You know that there are key national issues that were deployed by the citizens, because two responsibilities are mandated to members of Parliament. The first responsibility is to make sure that we make the law for the benefit of our people. We are a social democratic outfit, and it is important that we are there in Parliament to make sure that we advance proper laws, and that is the mandate that we must execute. Secondly is to hold the executive to account. That is why people voted for members of Parliament, for tributes, so that we are able to hold the executive to account. So we are back in Parliament to make sure that all these issues and responsibility bestowed upon us by the people, while these issues are being resolved. And we are going to announce in terms of the political program of action that we are taking in relation to Parliament.
Speaking of which, Sengezo Tshabangu is threatening more recalls. Are you seeking any legal action against him?
Look, we have no time for charlatans. We are focusing on big national questions. The issues that we are addressing here are about national issues. They don't involve imposters. Impositors don't have a role to play in the national democratic project. We are very serious and very clear in terms of the task at hand. We have no time for jokers. We have no time for people who are acting, of course, as tortoise on lampoons to try and advance, and of course to try and delay the democratic project. So we are focused on the big question. What is the big question in this country? It's the question of legitimacy. It's the question of governance. It's the question of the crisis that we face post the 2023 election. And this is the issue that we are focusing on, and we are going to make sure that we focus on those big questions. Smaller questions about what people decide to do and not to do, it is within what they decide to do, but we are focused on the important task and the task given upon us by citizens.
If the Constitutional Court does grant those recalls that were put up forward by Tshabangu, are you going to field more candidates for the by-elections?
Look, the question of by-election, and let me respond it very clearly about by-election. The question must never be about whether we participate or not. The big question is whether or not they're supposed to